Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we are nearing the end of the NBA offseason, but we still have some trades that could happen before the start of the NBA season. This article is titled 20 NBA transactions that could still happen in the offseason. So this is an article by Michael DeRozan. Basically, we're going to go through every single one of these trades right here. I'm going to give you guys like my thoughts and opinions and on exactly like what trade would benefit that particular player slash team. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, be sure to drop a like on this video. It is greatly appreciated. And as always, the link to the entire article is in the description of my video. All right, here we go, guys. The first one we have is the Cavaliers trade J.R. Smith. So currently, he's on like a 1 year, I believe it's like $15 million contract, so it's expiring, which can be kind of like enticing to some other teams out there. Thing is though, is like J.R. Smith is still a solid shooting guard. I don't want to say he's great or nothing like that, but he has championship experience. He's very streaky, but it's like, I could see a championship contending team trade for this man because, sure, maybe you don't want to start him, but have him be like a 6-man, 7th man off your bench. Definitely would not be a bad route to go. And like I was saying, man, for a 1 year deal. So have him go to a team like, I don't know, man, the Toronto Raptors would be kind of cool to see. Maybe join up the Los Angeles Lakers with all the other guys out there, you know, Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley, LeBron James, of course. But yeah, man, that'd be so much just drama on one team. All right, next up we have the Timberwolves trade Jimmy Butler. So we kind of know for a fact at this point that Jimmy Butler is very interested in teaming up with Kyrie Irving on the New York Knicks. If I was the Knicks, I would actually offer up in a trade to the Timberwolves something along the lines of Frank Ntilikina, because it makes perfect sense if Frank Ntilikina went to the Timberwolves. He could develop, you know, while Jeff Teague's still the kind of the point guard of that team, and in a few seasons will be ready to take over as a starting point guard. Maybe give him like a Courtney Lee, who would just be a nice 3-and-D player, and maybe even a draft pick or something like that for Jimmy Butler. It's not the greatest trade out there, but if you know for a fact that Jimmy Butler is leaving, at least you get a promising point guard in Frank Ntilikina. So, and then Jimmy Butler gets to go to the team that he wants to go to. All right, next up we have the Kings sign David West. Yeah, if you kind of look at the history of the past few seasons, the Kings is kind of like the graveyard team of the NBA, where when it's time to retire, you're getting a contract from, you know, the Sacramento Kings. That being like Zach Randolph, Vince Carter, although he's on the Hawks now, and even David West. So, looks like nobody else is really throwing him in a contract. I gotta imagine the Warriors, you know, maybe they'll resign him to the minimum, but he probably won't play at all. So, depends if he still wants to play or not. Next up, we have the Grizzlies trade Marc Gasol. When I see this right here, man, my only question is why? Like, why would they trade Marc Gasol? Mike Conley's coming back. Dylan Brooks is great. You all got Jaren Jackson on the team now. Like, let's see how that team can do out there. You know what I'm saying, man? So I do not like that trade. Keep Marc Gasol at least for a season. I mean, unless you're fully committed to rebuilding, which I don't think that team needs to do quite yet. But yeah, I still like the idea of Jonas Valanciunas for Marc Gasol with the Toronto Raptors, just because, you know, then the Grizzlies do have a bit of a younger center to kind of start building around. Maybe go to a team like the Portland Trail Blazers, you know, like a trade for like Nurkic or something like that. If you fully want to do like a fully like center swap, or once again, man, the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know what assets, you know, the Lakers would give up, but you know, for that defense and that, just get a big man in the middle that's not JaVale McGee on the Lakers. That might actually be a pretty big time move. Plus, you know, Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol on the Lakers, that'd be kind of cool, man. You know, back when Pau Gasol played there. Next up, we have Chris Bosh gets a contract. I feel like if he didn't get one, what's his name, man, 2015-2016 season, he's not going to get one now. I have no doubt that he could still really help a basketball team, but I also know that he has health issues, and I do not want to be the owner of a team that throws a contract at a man that could potentially die on your court. So, I love Chris Bosh. It's a sad ending to a very good NBA career. But I don't know, man. Would you as a person want to risk giving Chris Bosh a contract? I guess in the end of the day, it's his choice as a man. If he wants to put his body on the line and stuff like that. Next up, we have Lakers trade Lonzo Ball. Okay, I definitely do not see this happening before the season starts. You know, if the middle of the season struck around the NBA trade deadline and the Lakers just happen to be doing bad, which I don't think they will, because when you have LeBron James on your team, you're going to win some games no matter what. Then yeah, maybe we can talk about the idea of trading a few of the young pieces of the Lakers for more of an all-star, superstar caliber player. But as of right now, I don't think Lonzo Ball is going anywhere on that Lakers team. Timberwolves, we have signed Nick Young. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as J.R. Smith, where it's a guy that is not really consistent, but can come off your bench. I guess they did lose Jamal Crawford, so they might be looking to replace that, scoring out the bench, which, you know, Nick Young might just be that player who can play shooting guard or the small forward position. We have the Pelicans trade Anthony Davis. You know, I really hope they don't, because last NBA season, like DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis at times, you know, before DeMarcus went down, the team just looked kind of average. But then, of course, Boogie went down, and Davis just started taking over, like, in a freaking bad man kind of way. Like, it was absolutely epic out there. I do want to see him in a full season, being, like, the man, which we have seen that before, obviously. But he's getting even better each season, which is just crazy to say about Anthony Davis, because he's already one of the best players in the NBA. But yeah, him with Julius Randle, Mirotic, Drew Holiday, I still think that team could be something special out there. The Heat trade Hassan Whiteside. I'm actually surprised it's not happened yet, but a big part of it probably is because Hassan Whiteside, for what he did last season when he just kind of gave up, that does not really warrant a team trading for him and taking that chance, because the man is making all-star money right now. So would you trade for a player that you're not exactly sure you're going to get 100% out of him? I'm not quite sure I would out there. And even from, like, he's not young enough where if you're a team like the Atlanta Hawks or a rebuilding team where you trade for Hassan Whiteside and just, like, hope that in a few seasons he kind of gets it together. So it doesn't really make any sense for any big-time teams or rebuilding teams to trade for Whiteside. Now, maybe a team that's, like, right there, you maybe take a chance on it, maybe like the New York Knicks. I feel like the Charlotte Hornets with Kemba and also Hassan Whiteside could be something interesting, but I don't know, man. I don't see it happening. Well, at least I don't see a good trade coming through. For the Raptors, we have signed Jamal Crawford. Yeah, he's like, what? Is he like 39 now? He might be 37. Anyway, Jamal Crawford is getting up there in age. We can still bring it with the best of them out there. Goes to a championship contending team like the Raptors, especially in the Eastern Conference, gets a chance to help them out and get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe, potentially, if Kawhi Leonard brings it together, get to the NBA Finals. For the Spurs, we have trade Pau Gasol. Once again, I can't really see, like, a team outside of the Spurs that would really want him all that much, just because he's got, like, I believe he's owed $16 million. I can't remember if he has a team or player option. I don't think he does. But I mean, like, the Spurs, I feel like have just as good a chance in the Western Conference as a lot of other teams. I know a lot of people are going to write them off saying, no way, Crispy, but I still go back to it last season saying that, the Spurs without Kawhi Leonard was only a few games away from third place in the Western Conference. You add DeMar DeRozan, Pau Gasol, yeah, you don't want to start him, but as a guy off the bench, I don't know, man, I still like Pau Gasol. Like, he's not great, but he's a lot better than other backup centers out there, so just use him as that. For the Lakers, we have signed Rodney Hood. Why the hell was Rodney Hood going to follow LeBron James after this man just said last season that he's scared of LeBron and he's going out there saying he can't be dropping no freaking 18 points a game like he used to because of LeBron James? I want Rodney Hood to stay on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It seems like the perfect team for him, that smaller market team, little pressure. And plus, the damn Lakers have so many guards. Like, they have so many guards as is. Like, I can go up and down that list, man. Lance Stevenson, Josh Hart. I want to say, like, guards/forwards. KCP. Guys that can also play small forward, like Mike Beasley, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball's another guard. Yeah, they don't need another one. Next up, we have the Pistons trade Andre Drummond. Okay, so as a Pistons fan, I don't know how I feel about this because, like, Blake Griffin's got 4 years left on his contract. I don't remember Drummond's contract exactly, but I gotta feel like he'd be warranted a pretty damn good, like, first-round draft pick. I would only do this trade if it was for a draft pick, and it would have to be a draft pick from a really bad team, like the Sacramento Kings or somebody like that, just because I don't just want to get, like, okay players back for him, because that really does nothing for the Pistons. If the Pistons don't win right here, man, if they can't win at all with Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, it's time to blow things up, and the only way the Pistons can build a good team is via the draft. Free agents are not exactly lining up to play for my Detroit Pistons, unfortunately speaking. For the Heat, re-signed Dwayne Wade. Yeah, he pretty much already said if he comes back, that's the only team he's going to. Not much more to say about that. For the Knicks, we have trade Joakim Noah. So, Noah, I feel like if he was motivated, he would still be a pretty good NBA player. Like, I still think he has that juice left in him. I just don't really think he cares to play for the Knicks. Chicago Bulls, would you actually take back Joakim Noah to be, like, a backup player on your team, or would it just be like, no, you don't want that? Because I really could see him being, like, a good mentor to, like, Wendell Carter or somebody like that. But I don't know, man. Joakim Noah is kind of in a weird place right now. So while the Knicks would want to trade Joakim Noah, I'm not quite sure what they could get back for him. We got Spurs trade DeMar DeRozan. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen unless this team just is absolutely garbage. Like, why would the Spurs trade DeMar DeRozan? Y'all just got this man for Kawhi Leonard. He still can be a franchise player, and yeah, I want to see him play a full season with Greg Popovich. Next up, we have the Timberwolves trade Andrew Wiggins. I'm still in the mindset that it needs to be either Jimmy Butler or Andrew Wiggins. More will say that Jimmy Butler does not want to play for the Timberwolves, so therefore you keep Andrew Wiggins. But at the same time, Wiggins just is not really living up to his hype that before he was drafted and stuff by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, not to mention he got that bitch-ass contract now, too. So I'm not really sure what you can get for Andrew Wiggins at this point it just would not make much sense to give him all that money and then just like less than a season later already try to flip him around for something else. It just doesn't make any sense. We have the Hawks trade Kent Bazemore. Yeah, solid shooting guard. I think on a winning team, probably a backup, but not too much to say about this one. Sure, man. Hawks might trade Kent Bazemore. I've heard kind of rumors about it already. We have the Rockets trade Ryan Anderson. Yeah, they don't really need to now because the big thing about Melo not signing with the Rockets earlier was the whole thing with like they couldn't really afford it. But then he got traded to the Hawks, got bought out, has the $2 million contract. So therefore, Ryan Anderson's contract is not as big of a deal anymore. If the Rockets are looking to pick up another piece, then yeah, maybe you trade Ryan Anderson and try to free up some money. But I think he'll probably be around for the duration of his contract. Then finally, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers trade Kyle Korver. Yeah, I don't want to see Kyle Korver's, just NBA career just dwindle away because he's on a team now that's not going to really compete for the NBA championship. Korver is very old, but that jump shot's not going anywhere. Even on defense, they can be kind of like scrappy at times too. So I like to see him go to a contender. No team really like in my mind that's like, oh my god, he has to go to that team. It's the perfect fit. But there's teams out there that could definitely use the services of Kyle Korver. Anyway, guys, I hope you all did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about these trades right here, like who you think is going to go where, or if there's one that was not even listed. And thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.